Following cultural protocol, and because it grounds our thinking, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land I'm on in Melbourne, which is the Wurundjeri people, and pay my respect to the elders past, present and emerging, and extend that to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people or other First Nations people from other countries listening to this presentation across time and space. We're happy to be here to share some information on our D&I work over the last year. We're going to give a quick background to D&I at Yarra Valley Water, and then about quick reflection on how COVID has impacted our understanding of inclusion, and we'll then share a couple of case studies before a quick overview of where to next on this journey. Our commitment to inclusion is grounded in our strong culture. It's something that we've worked on over many years, and we've used the human synergistics framework to guide our journey. And a specific focus on diversity emerged in 2015, and we're now in the second phase of our diversity and inclusion work, our second phase of our strategy. In the work to date, we've focused on several key areas to strengthen our diversity, but really moved towards recognising and celebrating diversity of our workplace. This has been quite a profound cultural shift, and it's set us up positively for some of the areas that you'll hear more about in the case studies. COVID was certainly an interesting year for all of us, or 2020 was certainly an interesting year for all of us, and COVID is definitely throwing up all sorts of challenges, I know, across the world. In terms of our understanding of inclusion and us as an inclusive, what it's meant for us in being an inclusive workplace, it has also provided us with some real opportunities and learning about what inclusion means and what an inclusive culture can look like and how we support our people. On this slide, there's a list of the various things that we put in place throughout 2020 to support our people in the transition to work from home and the other impacts of COVID. And this approach was very much in line with our values as an organisation, as being people-centred organisation, and our commitment to a culture. And on reflection, we're realising, I guess, how these principles and the support we've provided to our staff through what's been a very challenging time has had real benefits in terms of inclusion in our workplace. We necessarily have had to bring more of ourselves, our full selves, into the workplace as we've worked from home, and a common reflection across teams in the organisation is on the stronger and deeper relationships between people as a result. It's definitely given us an opportunity to consider what sort of workplace we want to be in the future, and I think a lot of these learnings is really informing the way that we think about the next phase and our hybrid way of working moving forward. Australia is on a reconciliation journey. It's about reconciling our colonial history and the ongoing impacts in our modern society, such as inequality and racism, and the need to respect the inherent rights of our First Nations people. This is driven both by the need to address inequality and gaps in social outcomes, such as health, justice and employment, but also in the benefits and pride that we can all share from the richness of our First Nations culture and history. The water sector across Australia has taken significant steps forward in recent years in exploring our role and how we contribute to the journey. This includes employment opportunities, support for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander businesses, but also how we respect and advance the inherent rights of traditional custodians in relation to country and embed their aspirations, perspective and knowledge in the way we manage water and the environment. Reconciliation action plans, which is referred to here, is one of the key steps that organisations can take to explore their contribution to reconciliation. And in late 2020, at Valley Water, we launched our second RAP, which is a really significant milestone for us. It's a strategic document, a reconciliation action plan, that sets out the practical actions we'll take to drive our contribution. The actions are built on a framework of respect, relationships and opportunities, and they span the 5 dimensions of reconciliation, which are race relations, equality and equity, institutional integrity, historical acceptance and unity. So our RAP has targets for employment, and procurement. It has actions to increase the cultural safety of our workplace for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander employees, and also extending that to thinking about the services we provide for our for customers, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander customers. One component of that is looking at what we can do to tackle racism, so really stepping into some of those big societal issues as well. But also it's about our own learning as individuals and as an organisation. We have a cultural learning strategy which covers cultural awareness training, but other learning opportunities for staff at all levels, from board and exec down. So this learning type of learning has been really successful, and many people commenting on just how little they previously knew and how grateful they are for the opportunities to learn more about such an important part of Australia. Our engagement and partnerships with traditional custodians are a significant focus and is part of the key systemic change in terms of how we embed structural inclusion as part of just BAU as we move forward. So there's lots of big ideas and conversations and exciting work underway, and more to talk about than I can cover here. So I welcome any questions or follow up on this.